बट आई ट्राइड 1 महीना, बट वो खांसी बंद नहीं हो रहा था। वो खांसी इतना इंटेंस हो गया था कि आई स्टार्टेड लूजिंग माई वेट ऐसा इतना फास्ट कि दैट I used to constantly lose weight 2 to 3 kgs in a week. Government hospital was flooded with COVID patients. Yeah. So when I went to private hospital, the first thing they said is coughing. Do you have cold? So I remember. So they were just cross verifying whether I have symptoms of COVID. Right. I had TB, but I was not given treatment of TB.
Even we are trying to share some stories that can be amplified through social media. Yeah. So that young people can be part of our social media campaign. They can be part of our awareness modules. They can be part of our journey. Even they can share their journey, because once we share our journey through our social media, people used to reach out to us that I also gone through this period. I had this stigma. I faced this challenges.
Yeah.
So
well, they can be the part of a change maker in the TB response, where they can spread awareness in their community through learning from Unite, and they can be the part of Unite.
Some medicines that that make us have suicidal tendency as well. I remember, there was stigma was there.
Okay.
Comes from my friend as well, and from my few relatives as well. They don't call. They are scared of visiting me. Rida, I saw you, and then if you know this, I was about to give up. I was about to give up. But then your story is giving me hope.
Unite India is bringing a new initiative, टीबी की बात टीबी चैंपियंस के साथ।
Hello everyone, I am Aman Shukla, and today we are starting an innovative initiative about discussing about the journey and the experience of people who had TB. And today we have our steering committee member Nitesh Yadav from Mumbai, who has been struggling with TB 2 times. And today he will be sharing about his experience, his engagement and advocacy in the TB response in India. So once again, you're welcome to this podcast, Nitesh.
Thank you so much, Aman.
So first, I would like to know about you and your experience in TB response as an TB survivor and as an TB youth advocate.
Okay, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak. So as you mentioned about the journey as a youth, okay, first of all, it is very important to know that I am two-time TB survivor. I have affected with TB twice. Okay, but when first time when I had TB, I was very young. Almost I was around 12, 11 or 12 years of age. And that time as a kid, even I was not aware that what exactly I am going through. मेरा वेट कम होता था, मुझे अनइवन स्वेट होते थे, मुझे बुखार आता था, एंड दैट यूज्ड टू बी अ फेस वेयर आई वाज नॉट अवेयर व्हाट एग्जैक्टली टीबी इज। ओके, तो वो टाइम पे आई हैड मेडिसिन अबाउट फॉर 6 months, एंड इवन देयर वाज स्टिग्मा दैट पेरेंट्स हैव ऑलरेडी टोल्ड कि डोंट टेल एनीवन, इट माइट कट ऑफ योर रिलेशन विद पीपल, बिकॉज दैट टाइम आल्सो आई डोंट नो हाउ पीपल विल टेक this thing that I'm having TB, tuberculosis. I just knew that I have TB, but I didn't know exactly what exactly this thing is and how it's going to take toll on my body. But after 6 months of treatment, I remember I was fine. And after that, I forgot exactly what I used to have medicine, because parents that time was fully supporting me starting from treatment till I recovered. But my life changed in COVID. In 2021, when COVID came, I started coughing a lot. And that time it was a time जहाँ पे सब लोग डरते थे डॉक्टर के पास जाने पे, just for the fact that people will take you to the isolation center.
Yes.
And as you know, in Mumbai the condition was worse. Actually the condition was worst everywhere in India and outside the world.
Yeah.
But Mumbai is a place where a lot of people are living in small spaces. Okay, so that time also I used to work, but when I started coughing constantly, so there were used to be people, when you cough a lot, even though nowadays TB है तो people will not, but that time कि अरे भाई ये खास रहा है, okay, that खासना I used to try to control, please don't, or else ये मुझे job से निकाल देंगे. I recently got the job, and that time it was very crucial for me, at least whatever I am earning. And वो time पे कोई job नहीं था, I used to work for a bank that time and an emergency sector, so I was working, तो वो डर था. बट आई ट्राइड 1 महीना, बट वो खांसी बंद नहीं हो रहा था. वो खांसी इतना इंटेंस हो गया था कि आई स्टार्टेड लूजिंग माई वेट ऐसा इतना फास्ट कि दैट आई यूज्ड टू कॉन्स्टेंटली लूज वेट 2 to 3 kgs in a week. And I used to wonder what exactly is happening. When I used to go to family doctor, वो टाइम पे he used to give me medicine, cough syrup, जिससे कोई भी प्रॉब्लम कम नहीं हो रही थी. It used to extend continuously. That time then people said, if you go anywhere, people in especially in India, वो आपको 10 चीजें बताते हैं कि आप आयुर्वेदिक करो, होम्योपैथी. I'm not against anything.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, okay?
Yeah.
People have different opinion upon particular. It depends how they persisting it,
Right.
Okay. So after that, my dad somehow managed me to take to private hospital, because government hospital were flooded with COVID patients.
Yeah,
And it
that
was
was a
not
very
possible.
critical moment.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So when I went to private hospital, the first thing they said, he is coughing. Do you have cold? So I remember. So they were just cross verifying whether I have symptoms of COVID.
Right.
So you can see, in condition like that,
Hmm.
it becomes very difficult for people who are having TB.
Hmm.
Okay, for them it become very difficult to distinguish.
Hmm.
Okay, I had TB, but I was not given treatment of TB,
Hmm.
because doctor was like, you have viral. So they
Ah.
took me there, and I was admitted in that hospital for 1 week.
Hmm.
1 week was fine, but when they start the injections and all, you start feeling better comparatively.
Hmm.
I started feeling better, and
Hmm.
after 1 week, and I was out of that hospital. Now again, I would highlight one thing, as I'm
Yeah.
mentioning about hospital, private hospital. In that time,
Hmm.
I'm not coming from very rich family. I'm
Ah.
a middle class. My dad is an auto rickshaw driver.
Hmm.
Okay, that time nothing was working, but somehow
Hmm.
I have huge respect for my father that he managed that
Supported you.
expenses that time.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hmm.
I was out, but the moment I reached home, and the symptoms were again escalated.
Because it was a TB symptoms.
Exactly.
And they were treating you for something else
Exactly.
that was not affecting to
Yeah.
your
So
body.
what, like,
Hmm.
I just want to highlight the diagnosis process in India and how we have been treated. Okay. Second time went again, and the condition was same. I was there for 1 week, and I
Hmm.
was feeling good, and I was out.
So, do you think that the awareness about the TB symptoms and at the facility level, at the healthcare level, is really very low? Because as soon as people are coughing or sneezing, they think they just take the medicines for the sneezing and coughing, but they don't escalate that thing for TB diagnosis or TB symptoms, or it could be something related to TB. So, what do you think? Is our healthcare system very much equipped to diagnose TB? And what are the barriers that you find it at the healthcare level?
Okay, so as I mentioned, like whenever people are coughing, there is a huge problem in India about self-medication.
Hmm.
Whenever something like this occurs, like even though when I used to cough, people are like, medical se dawa le lo, pharmacy,
Ah.
local pharmacy ke paas jao, you tell them that you have symptoms, they will give you medicine like that. Self-medication is the first problem where the all things starts.
Yes.
Okay, we start self-medicating. मैंने ऐसा किया था तो ठीक हो गया, तो you try again.
Right.
Okay, and also see symptoms. We have huge celebrities, actor promoting like how we can take care, like how we can recover from TB. There are medicine, but we want people to, someone who can guide that people to go. There is proper navigation should be there. Yes or no? If
Yes.
if I'm talking about barriers, you are saying, if someone is coming with a symptom of coughing, okay, pulmonary
Symptom
TB,
of TB.
okay, so they should be given the sputum treatment, and X-ray should be done immediately. But if you will go to government, they will take, they will not immediately try. If you are saying I'm coughing from 1 month, sorry, 1 week, so they will be like, okay, have this medicine, come after 3 days.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the process. So they will see in 3 days you are feeling better or not. And after that, when you go, then they will again do your X-ray and sputum. Sometime in my case, I was in UP, my native place, because
Yeah.
when I was not getting cured here, people said the air is not good here, you go somewhere else, you might feel better.
Better.
I went in UP, and at the end, after having a lot of injections for the disease I don't have, I was so tired, mentally disturbed that time. I don't know. And I was hardly used to weight 36 kgs that time.
Oh my God.
Okay, so I have lost more than 15 kgs that time, Aman. And I can't explain you how sad I feel about myself, that how I was dealing with that situation in that time. Okay, there was no support. Okay, sometimes when you do so much, and then also their body is not recovering, you get mentally ill.
Yeah.
And there is no assistance provided.
Right.
And you can't give extra stress to your family. But
Absolutely.
that clinic, a small clinic in UP, okay, that doctor somehow suggested me to undergo sputum
Testing.
test.
So he was aware about the
Yeah,
it
exactly.
could be TB symptoms.
Yeah,
So he
exactly.
escalated
So
you for the
after
TB
1
diagnosis.
month, after 1 month, he told me, can you do this test?
Hmm.
And I was, see, The moment sputum test came into picture, I got scared. I will be very honest. And there I want to highlight the self stigma I started because of the societal pressure we have because of TB.
Yeah.
TB hai means people are like, oh God, isko TB hai. So I was not aware how people will react, how my life will change. People say TB hai. There are people who will say, अरे TB तो है, ठीक हो जाएगा. There are people who will say, oh my God, he's TBing, don't go
Yeah.
close to him. बातें बंद कर देते. So I was not ready for it.
Right.
So I got very scared. The whole night I didn't got sleep. Then
And top of that, it was a time where COVID cases were increasing
exactly
at a very high level.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Nitesh, for answering all the questions so insightfully and sharing your experience with us. I have a last question for you. What message will you give to others who are currently undergoing TB treatment?
Thank you, Aman, for the question. In my case, late diagnosis was the treatment, and because of which I have suffered a lot in my life, personally, professionally. And I have told you, like symptoms like fever, okay, not able to sleep, sweat, cough. When I used to cough, my chest used to pain.
Right.
So I have been with that symptom for a long time. I would say more than 2 years, I would say. So I just don't want that people now in 2025, they are suffering with some symptoms, and the problem is that they are not getting diagnosed on time. The only thing we can do to eradicate TB from the world is to be focused on symptoms. If people will know the symptoms, then they can do. There should be more awareness.
Right.
So I would only urge the community advocates to emphasize more on TB because it's high time. We have to work. India is having largest burden of TB in the world. What we are doing, okay, if we focus and we have self-awareness, and also if we aware the people that about the importance of nutrition, if we eat proper food, if we have proper nutrition in the body, we can be healthy. Okay, so that is more important, and that's what we can do to eradicate TB from the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nitesh. The very important point that you highlighted is that early diagnosis is the solution to NTB.
Yes, early diagnosis, early treatment is equal to TB eradication.
Perfect. So you mean also to say that having a good nutrition also helps people to kind
Exactly.
of prevent from TB.
Yeah.
And people those who are on with TB on treatment also improves their TB outcomes.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much, Nitesh, for this lovely podcast and your
I'm very
information.
thankful for you for calling me. Thank you so much.
Rida,
Yes.
so I have a question for you.
Okay.
During your TB journey, how did TB affect your mental health and relationships?
Okay. So mentally, it has really drained me. First, the illness itself, is traumatizing. And then secondly, the treatment.
Yeah.
The medicines that we take do have the side effects of affecting our mental health.
Right.
So there are some medicines that, that make us have suicidal tendency as well.
Oh, okay.
And then also knowing that I've lost some of my loved ones, my family member and a friend
Because of TB.
TB again.
Okay.
And during this journey, these memories have really hit me hard. So that it really did affected me. And then another thing also, because of the, like at that time when I was like full on skin and boned. I was 33 kgs only.
Okay.
Like malnutrition. And then I remember, there was stigma was there.
Okay.
Comes from my friend as well and from my few relatives as well. They don't call, they are scared of visiting me. And then you can actually see, the distance is there
Yeah.
because of the
TB.
TB,
So this stigma also contributed into your mental health, mental well-being while you were, going through the TB journey.
It does. And that's why, so my strategy in, processing this, the
Okay.
whole situation is how when I saw all of that, I started isolating myself.
But that will create more obstacle for you. If you start isolating yourself, how do you cope up with your mental health?
See, we deal differently.
Right.
Everyone's a unique, right?
Absolutely.
So for me, I prefer being isolated from, from the world and from my friend. And why I do that, because I isolated myself. One thing is because I do see results,
Okay.
but they are like tiny results. So other people won't see that.
But
So
you
when
can feel
I
that.
can feel it,
Right,
I
okay.
can feel my strength is getting better.
Hmm.
I'm getting stronger day by day. And then I can see that my hands are a little bit, I can see a little bit muscles are coming up, thoda
So
sa.
you're recovering
At
slowly.
least I'm recovering. So these are the things that only I notice, because it's like small
thing.
tiny things.
And also you come from a place where the place is very beautiful, and when you make yourself isolated, that also means that you go out and you explore spaces, place alone, right? So that is also one
Yes.
factor that makes you happy, and
Yeah.
you kind of enjoy your me time.
Yes.
And that is the one reason that is also helping you to recover from your TB journey, and also
Yeah.
making you powerful to overcome to your
It really
mental health
does. It
well-being.
really does. Nature
So
heals.
so how, like, this is how you cope up, right?
Yes.
What is that solution for other people, those who are undergoing TB treatment, and if they want to cope up with this kind of situation, how
Yes.
they should do, like what are the strategies, and how they can kind of discover that thing in their situation?
Okay, I find it now it's gonna be much more, a little bit easier though.
Okay, why you would feel
How
that?
I feel it that way, because when I was going through my TB journey, it was around 2015 or 17, like that. So from where I come from,
Yeah.
Instagram and all of that is not really a big thing out there.
Okay, the usage is very low.
The usage is very low.
Okay.
So I don't really know the existence of, Unite, existence of SATV, existence of these other TB community around the world, or I don't know any of that.
Okay, so you mean to say that a peer support or an ecosystem that
It is
we have
very
now,
important.
yeah, like for example, if a young person is going through a TB journey,
Yeah.
treatment, and if they want a support now, they can go to any website or social media and they can access the information. They can
Yeah.
access the support, like
Yes.
you. And in our previous podcast, there was Amit, Nitesh,
Yes.
who as an advocate support these people.
Yes.
How to kind of mitigate this mental health uh, problem.
Mhm.
So, what do you think from the government's perspective
Okay. Right.
that integration of mental health in the TB response is essential, or it's kind of a manageable thing?
I feel the government is doing very well
Absolutely.
the past 5 years, and with this TB Mukh Bharat
The campaign is going
campaign
very
is
beautifully.
working very well. It's
Yeah.
going very great. Hats off to the government, to
And of course, our
Modi
Prime Minister,
Sarkar.
yes, yes.
So I'm not gonna say, but then yes, again, you see, due to negligence, people hear what TB is.
Yeah,
They hear it a lot,
yes.
and TB is like an Asian illness.
It's been more than 100 years.
People know,
it's there.
like,
Yeah.
yes, TB hai,
Huh.
like it's all TB.
Hmm.
But then it's because of that
Yeah.
they've become ignorance of it,
Hmm. Yeah.
and they neglect the importance of mental health also,
Right.
attached with tuberculosis.
Right. So also maybe because we are in such a society in India where mental health is considered as one of the mental illness.
Yes.
Because mental health or mental well-being is something that should be the part of our life, right? And during the TB treatment,
Yes.
an individual needs that mental well-being, or support, a peer support. So you're trying to say that even our government should think beyond treatment and beyond prevention, also providing mental health support at the
Prioritize
TB.
on mental
Yeah,
health
prioritizing
support,
the
and then
TB center.
yes,
So you think that will,
the emotional health.
yeah.
It really does help. It really does help. How? I'm gonna tell you.
Hmm.
First, we get the medicines
Right.
treatment.
Yeah.
Only medicine is not going to work.
Yeah.
Then we need nutrition.
Again,
now we have Nikshay Mitra and
yeah, but
the
for
nutritional basket we get.
Yes, you get it, but most of the time there are so many other things that also affects, right?
Yeah. I'll just come to the third one.
Yeah.
So the first, we got the treatment, which is free, of course.
Yes.
And then we also got, like, the money also we get. Now it's increasing from 500 to
1,000 rupees.
1,000.
It has increased.
On top of that,
Yeah.
you're getting a nutritional basket as well. Right?
Yeah.
So which is very helpful. But what is lacking is emotional support.
From a TB champion.
You see, now if I only take the medicines,
Yeah.
and I don't focus on nutrition, so the medicines, while fighting the bacteria, my body is going to become very weak.
Right.
That's when people think that even though I'm taking the medicines, also it's not helping. I'm feeling more bad. I'm feeling more weak. But then they don't know that the medicine is actually fighting the bad bacteria.
Right.
So with that struggles going on in your body, imagine it's like a war.
Yeah. Yeah.
So obviously it's going to make you so weak. So people got a very wrong concept. And that's when nutrition comes. So we have the healthy food, good nutritional food. And that builds up
immunity system.
Yes. And it helps your body to fight more. And with the medicines, it caters to the medicines as well.
Right.
So TB medicines are very strong. So without good nutritional food, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
And then again, for us, TB survivors, TB patients right now, who are taking the medicines and all, we need motivation every day. Imagine taking those drugs.
Yeah.
I remember rifampicin. I hate that medicine.
The pill burden is so much.
And it's always make me gag. Even thinking about it, the nausea feeling is always there. Just the thought of it, that much traumatizing that medicines does to me. And then there's another one, ethambutol medicines. That also, the smell and the burning sensation. Imagine we had to push ourselves to take those medicines every day.
Yeah.
And because of the side effects of the medicines as well, we have our skins peel off. Some of them, their hair fell. Hair fall, heavy hair fall, and some of them, even their skin becomes so dark. The self-esteem, everything's up, gayab.
So in this situation, you need that emotional support. So how do you think that this emotional support should be built? If government wants to do it, what is the way that they can do it?
Bring up more TB survivors.
Right.
Build a strong community.
Right.
Strong community heals stronger, right?
Absolutely.
So the government needs to, build. We have the list from the TB centers. I think if we can call these people and to come up, and then speak up about this more.
Yes.
If we have more survivors talking about TB, I don't think so. Stigma will be there.
Stigma ends, and then you have a healthy ecosystem to support the people who are with the TB.
Yes.
And also in this, if we have a community champions, TB survivors, supporting people whom are like them, because they know it's a lived experience for them as well.
So for me, when I started sharing my story for the first time, I always tell other TB survivors, other TB champions, I was like, your story matters.
Yeah, of course. Every voice counts.
Your story matter, even though the process, the procedure of right from diagnosis, treatment, it might sound the same, but there will be uniqueness of your story.
Absolutely.
There'll be uniqueness of your story. So when I share in this one podcast, it's a local podcast. When I speak, we're just like talking like me and you, just casually, like that only. So what we didn't realize is there's a TB patient from the other side of the screen was watching the whole thing. And it was around 1 hour, 2 hour podcast thing. Imagine they stayed the whole thing.
Because they were interested and keen to understand more about it.
And then this patient, she was like, I reach out to you through Instagram. Okay?
Right.
Then she reached out. She found my page and she reached out to me. And she was like, Kong Rida, that's how they you know,
Mm-hmm.
call. Rida, I saw you, and then if you know this, I was about to give up.
Ah.
I was about to give up. But then your story is giving me hope. And
Mm.
seeing you the whole time, watching you, how you speak,
Yeah.
and how you tell your story, and how you have been and how you are now, giving me a lot of hope that I can do this.
Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
looking at you with all the stigma, the discrimination that you've gone through, be it starting right from your family, your friends, the community, even at the health centers, and you fought this all.
Yeah.
This is giving me hope that
Even they can do it.
keep that aside. I don't care who's judging me, who's not judging me. I can do this.
Ah.
And imagine your story can save life.
That is why I believe very much that sharing your experience, your story, your journey with the people, those who are affected or people those who are not affected, because there is a role for people who are not affected also to
Yeah.
support and bring a healthier ecosystem for them, a
Yes.
support system for them when they
Yes.
are with the TB, and also for the people those who are with TB to boost them, to motivate them, and speak up for their rights.
Yes.
And become a change maker for the people who will be or will not be affected by the TB, and that is how we will be able to move towards ending TB.
Yes.
So moving forward, Rida,
Okay.
I have one last question for you. What message will you give to others who are currently undergoing TB treatment?
Okay. So my message one is always don't miss your treatment, your medicines.
Absolutely.
Never miss that. Always follow
It's a
that.
life-saving thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Second, focus on your nutritional. I've just talked about it.
Because it builds your it builds your immunity system, and
Yes.
it improves your TB treatment outcomes.
Yes.
And also for the people those who are in their family and community to prevent from TB.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Nutrition is very much important. So nourish yourself to
And
flourish.
third is emotional health, well-being.
That is what you have highlighted in the entire conversation, that
Yes.
emotional health well-being support is very much essential,
Yeah.
because that is
And
how you will be
now
able to.
it's much more easier
Yeah.
because even if we understand, okay, like self-stigma is there. So even if you don't want to go out, meet your friends, or even want to call your friends, you can just take out your phone
Yeah.
or on your screen, and then you can just check out these series. There are tons of series that you're gonna get motivated from. And I'm sure, 100% sure that if you are going through the treatment, listening from these people will bring you so much joy and interest to it.
Absolutely.
And then these episodes, these shows itself, and you also can follow the Instagram page, like there's like YOUNITE Global, YOUNITE
Yes.
India.
And there are so
These
many
are the
other
youth.
networks.
And there are
youth.
other networks as
Yeah.
well.
So
Really, you just type the word TB and then you can just
lot of
simply it's
people
out
who
there,
are,
and you can actually choose it like a menu, yeah.
absolutely.
Nowadays.
So there are support. It's just that people have to go and seek for the support.
Yeah. You just click on those page, message them. You don't even know this person.
Yeah.
Imagine stranger to stranger, it's much more easier to talk.
Yep.
And a stranger will help you grow more than
Yes, because they will
somebody
not
who
judge
already
you.
know you.
Yeah, because they will not judge you for what you are,
So
for
that
what
is
you're
one
doing.
tips I can give you.
Yeah,
if you
thank
don't
you
want
so
to meet the
much.
society.
Yeah, this is an amazing message that you have given to all of our audience who are watching this podcast. Thank you so much for being part of this initiative.
Thank you so much for inviting me too.
So we have Amit 𝐂𝐚 with us, who is a youth advocate and leading a youth-led network in India. And globally, his advocacy and his experience, his journey about the youth leadership is very famous. And Amit, thank you so much for being part of this initiative and talking about the work that you're doing in the ecosystem of TB response and to end TB. Can you please briefly introduce yourself and explain us what work you're doing in the TB response while engaging young people into your network, and briefly about your network?
Okay, thank you so much, Aman. Thank you. Thank you for bringing me here. My name is Amit Singh, as you mentioned. I am leading a network called Unite. It's a India country chapter of Unite Global. We are working for the young people. We are young people for TB, and we are bringing young people into the TB space. As we're seeing that India is now amongst the highest. Sorry, in now India is the highest TB burden country, and again we are the highest young populated country of the world.
Yeah.
And we see that there is a need of young people in TB response,
Right.
because the spread is among young people. And the Unite, we are building a space. We are the space, and now we are building a space where young people from key and vulnerable community can join us, can be part of our advocacy, can be the like force multiplier, can be the part of change, can be the hero of awareness, because still we see there is a lot of gap of awareness among the young people. And Unite is the platform where we are bringing people from various diverse communities to talk about TB, to learn about TB, to get information, and then further disseminate it among
Other
their
communities.
communities.
So, Amit, I understand that Unite India is about doing an advocacy, building the capacity of young people, and engaging young people into the TB response, right? So, doing these things, how, as a young person myself and other people, those who are watching this video, this podcast, how they can engage with the Unite India's work to end TB?
So, Aman, as we were discussing this, like we have our social media presence. We are very new, so we don't have much on ground people. So we have built this strong social media. We have uh, not much now, but we have a good number of followers, and we have good number of impressions. So now the young people who are going to watch this podcast can be part of our this social media journey, because we are seeing that India is among one of the biggest consumer of data, social media. And we are in the generation where young people are more active on social media instead of our ground stories. So we are bringing, we are trying to share some stories that can be amplified through social media,
Yeah.
so that young people can be part of our social media campaign. They can be part of our awareness module, they can be part of our journey, even they can share their journey. Because once we share our journey through our social media, people used to reach out to us that I also gone through this period, I had this stigma, I faced this challenges.
Yes.
So we are giving them a platform that you can join us. And even you being, because it's not a my responsibility or your responsibility to keep the knowledge with ourselves or yourself.
Yes.
It is the responsibility, moral responsibility of young people to share it among all the wider population, so that they can also get to know about TB. What is it? And as we told that there are TB KVP, some of the people were aware about what is TB KVP, but through Unite platform, they will also got to know that they are one of the among TB KVP. So they can also learn about this, and they can further share it with among young people.
So you mean to say that they can engage on the social media of Unite that are available on the platform. They can engage on the website that you have. They can engage in your advocacy effort that you do. They can be the part of the calls, the webinars that you do every month, where
Yes,
they
yes,
can build their knowledge, where they can be the part of a change maker in the TB response,
yes,
and they can be the part of the national India's national TB response, where they can spread awareness in their community through learning from Unite, and they can be the part of Unite. So is there any process where they can be the part of Unite India as a member, as a registered member, as a recognized member, so that they feel accountable and they can have the ownership of being an active member, being an active youth advocate of Unite to end TB?
yes, yes, Aman. So we have our form. We have currently we have 100 plus active member who are like taking part in our
They're
activities.
across India.
Yeah, they are from across India,
Wow.
and like they are even from diverse background. So it's not about the people who are suffering from TB, who are had TB, or who are continuing the treatment. It is from the diverse community.
Okay.
So we have teachers, we have students, we have office going children, sorry, office going person. So we have diverse community.
And they all are youth.
Yes, and all of them are young
And
people.
what is that youth age range that you kind of engage? into network?
So usually we ask people who are from the 18 to 30 age, we try to
Okay.
bring them to this Unite umbrella.
Okay.
And for more detail, if the viewer or visitors want to visit us or want to enroll with us, here is the link of our Google form. You can just scan this from the video and you can be the member of Unite India.
Fantastic. So this is amazing initiative that you all are doing. While you were introducing about Unite's work and how young people can engage, you mentioned about KVP. So does that mean that key and vulnerable population?
Yes.
So what is this key and vulnerable population mean? Like why they are important to be the part of TB advocacy?
So they are those community people who are marginalized, vulnerable for TB, and they are having a most highest risk of having TB.
Okay.
So they are at risk of TB without knowing that they are from the community. So we are trying to tell them that yes, you are one of the key vulnerable population. So you should understand what is TB and you should take the precaution and how that you should come with us, join our family, that's group of Unite India, and then you can learn and you will go through the process and you can enjoy because it's again young people.
Yeah.
So lot of experience, lot of learnings.
Yes. So you mean to say that the key and vulnerable populations are always ignored, and they were never being the part of the TB response. So Unite is kind of engaging them in our advocacy, in Unite's advocacy, and bringing them to one platform.
Yes.
So that is why you say that youth in all the diversity can be the part of Unite India.
Yes.
That's amazing initiative. Really appreciated that you guys are working on this kind of model where every young person feels accountable and has the ownership of ending TB. Fantastic. My last question to you is, what is that one key message that you want to give all the young people who are watching our podcast and can be the part of the initiative of Unite India and to end TB? Vision is to see a world free from TB.
So as I mentioned that India is the largest young populated country or having largest young persons in the world.
Yeah.
And as I again mentioned that the new infection is among young people, and some of us, not saying you, us are from key and vulnerable population. So it is our moral responsibility to join. So my message is like TB is a airborne disease. It can spread through air.
Yeah.
So it will not limit with me or limit with you. It can be anywhere. So there's a message: TB anywhere, TB is everywhere.
Yeah.
So that we have to work because today I am suffering from TB. Yesterday, upcoming day, some else will suffer from TB, but it is not restricted with me or you. Anybody can get infected. So
Yeah.
to stop this chain and to break this chain of TB, we have to come forward, and it's for young people because we can decide. When we are talking about TB, we are trying to build a sustainable response.
Yeah.
And these are the generation that can come forward, talk, think, and take forward the agenda. So the simple message is today, now, or not never.
Thank you so much, Amit, for this message. I understand that you are saying your key message is that all the young people should come together as united in one space and advocate for TB.
Yes.
And increase the awareness about TB. And that is how we will be able to end TB to a set goal. Thank you so much, Amit, for this podcast. It was really lovely talking to you, and a conversation was amazing and insightful for me to understand and for all our viewers.
Thank you so much, Aman. Thank you so much for this lovely opportunity. Thank you so much.
1, 2, 3, start. TB हारेगा देश जीतेगा TB हारेगा देश जीतेगा TB हारेगा देश जीतेगा चाहे सामान के भुला गईला पर
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.